7.4 billion people. Well, it's really 7,447,927,800 and rising. Actually, by the time this video reaches its 10-second point, 30 more people would have been brought into this world. But forget the facts. Let's take a moment to focus on the miraculous scientific fact that out of 7.4 billion people, every single person is different. The real question is, what is it that makes you different? Who am I? My name is Connor Adams, and this is who I am. It was the second day of summer in 1993 when my mother received the biggest surprise of her life. Me. Yep, that's me, baby Connor. Wait a minute, that's not me, this is me. But that was me. But me then isn't who I am now. Forget all that. The point is, what in the world occurred over my lifetime to make me who I am now? Who will I be tomorrow? My mother and father were an interesting couple, to say the least. My dad had just turned 30 and was a Special Forces pilot in the Army. My mother, bless her heart, was only 23 years old when I came along, and she was an artist. Being a kid in a military family had its ups and downs. I learned to love traveling at an early age, but I also learned how hard it was to make friends knowing I would never see them again after a couple of years. By the age of 7, after living in 3 different states, attending 2 different elementary schools, and moving in and out of 4 different homes, I learned we would be moving once again to South Korea. Oh, and that's my little brother. I forget when he showed up. Anyway, at the age of 8, I began to realize how blessed I was to be able to embrace change at such a young age. I learned to focus on who I was individually because of the constant change of the environment around me. When it all came down to it, there was no reason to be like everyone else because there would be a new everyone else as soon as we moved. It was time for my family to move once again. Oh, that's my other little brother, Chris. We adopted him in Korea, but he would grow up to be no different than us. We were a family. We moved back to the town of Clarksville, Tennessee. After leaving some of my best friends behind, I would be starting 6th grade knowing absolutely no one. So I did what I learned to do best, make friends. This was the first talent I would come to find was a very special characteristic to have. After moving so many times, I never belonged to a stereotype. It didn't matter what ethnic background a person was from, I could make conversation with anyone. That was the first time I was fully aware of who I was, a product of my past self, or selves. On a 6th grade field trip, I was only 12 when my mother tried explaining to me that mommy and daddy weren't in love anymore. I remember it like it was yesterday. I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know who my parents were. What had happened to the young lovebirds that welcomed me into the world 12 years prior? Who were they now? Did they know who they were back then? What had happened in a 12-year time frame that could change a person's heart? I had a decision to make. Would I fail by letting my current environment negatively change who I was? Or would I be aware of who I was and let it change me for the better? It changed me for the better. So I ended up being kind of an outcast through my high school years because of my refusal to be like everyone else. I didn't wear name brand clothes, I didn't try to fit into certain groups or go to school dances, and I never put on a mask for anyone. My teachers would laugh at my goals and tell me to be realistic, so I was realistic. I knew my grades wouldn't get me a college scholarship, and I definitely didn't have the money for college either, so I packed my bags for the military. I told myself that I was going to be whatever I wanted to be, no matter where I was in life. Boy, did I tell them. I was on my own at 17, and my future was going just as I had planned it. Fast forward 5 years later, 2 different countries, 3 different states, and here I am. Medically retired at the age of 23 from the United States Air Force, a sponsored fitness athlete, a full-time 4.0 student, a loving boyfriend, and an inspiring filmmaker. But who am I? My name is Connor Adams. I am the person I have always aimed to be, but not the same person as I will be tomorrow. I will never stop aiming to be a better version of myself, and I hope to influence you to do the same.